So I finally gave Subnautica a try, and friends, I think we have a new... Welcome back, Classic Crew, as I share my thoughts on a game called Subnautica, a game where you are stranded on a water planet with not much to go on. You have to survive and find a way off the planet. It's all played in first person, and I have to say, as I've shared in other videos, first person games tend to turn me off. But I had heard so many good things about Subnautica. It was one of the games that was recommended in the 12 Days of Hey Jay. I was quite curious to see what made this game so well received, and it's safe to say I've become addicted to this game. The main game loop is super fun because it's all about crafting, going out, getting materials, finding materials, building something, which then gets you access to more of the region to get more resources to keep building more things. It's basically what I would have wanted from a game like Minecraft, which we're not going to get into, but I don't like sandbox style games where you can do whatever you want. Like Minecraft, I tend to need a goal, which is why I like Dragon Quest Builder more. It had an overarching story and a goal as to what you're building. Subnautica is more in line with that. You have a goal of what you're trying to do with enough flexibility to do whatever you sort of want. I like that it starts off with obvious things. I'm like, all right, I've just crash landed. What the heck's going on? First things first, I need to first get some food and water. So I learned how to get the basic essentials, how to move around. And then within my escape pod, there's all these sparks things, and I could tell I could fix it. So I'm like, all right, the first thing I want to do is find some materials to build the tool that will let me fix that, because that's just annoying. So once I got my little settlement all under control, I was like, all right, now where do we go from here? We got our big starship, which just crashed on the horizon. Let's go explore that. Tried doing that, but then I learned that there was radiation, so I couldn't get close. So then I kept exploring elsewhere, and I kept finding blueprints to build new things. And it's so rewarding to just be exploring, not really sure what you're looking for, coming across stuff, and getting access to more gear and more things that you can do. And that was pretty much the theme of the whole stream. I just kept being like, oh, let's just go over here, see what happens. And as I was doing that, I was learning the basics of what I could and couldn't do. Eventually I was like, all right, stop picking up the mushrooms. I got so many mushrooms back home. You can only make so many batteries out of it. That too, I also learned what the recipes were for the items I needed more often. And eventually it became a thing of kind of expanding my search radius. While all that's happening, the game is slowly feeding you all these cues of, oh, here's a transmission, here's a transmission. And then you go there and you get access to new things, and it gives you kind of new things to explore. I got stuck, I would say, towards the end of my stream for a good half hour to an hour, where I clearly needed to build a vehicular module to build vehicles. I had all the blueprints to build vehicles, but I didn't have the garage to build the vehicle, if that makes sense. And everywhere I looked, I couldn't find it. And I would go to the big ship, and I could tell that I needed laser cutters. I needed all these things, but I didn't have access to them. And it felt like the bottleneck was the stupid modular thing, the vehicular bay. So after a little bit of help, and I started asking chat, okay, what direction do I need to go to get this? We finally found it in an area I had, of course, not explored. So it's very important that you explore every area. So in the bottom of this foresty area, whatever foresty is, seaweedy area, I found my vehicular bay, and I built my own little submarine that lets me finally move everywhere. I don't have to swim everywhere, and I can go underwater with lights. And I got my little own modular home, which lets me go to where I need to go for the latest signal I got, which is 300 feet under the water. Now I don't know what's there because reasons. I ran out of time and ran out of resources. But that has been progressing really well. Now I can also see another aspect of the game, which I don't think I will like so much, but I've unlocked a tool which lets me build a base. And that's where it's good for the Minecraft lover because you can build a home and modular and all these things. But for me, it's oh no, this is too many options. Where am I going to build the base? How am I going to build the base? What's it going to look like? It's too much creativity where I'm I need more of a box to box me in, at least for my first base. At least tell me, oh, we should really build a base here. But now it's open-ended. I can build the base wherever I want. and I can do all sorts of stuff in it. And that's going to require more resource to build more base. And all of this is just so exciting to me, because then eventually we get more stuff. Then we can explore what's on the ship. All the meanwhile, the game is like feeding you some story, and it's just really satisfying. I actually got coordinates that another story beat I got before I ended is another starship has picked up the distress signal, is about to come save us. And I got coordinates to the island where it's going to drop. And I have like 48 hours, I think, to get there, or 45 minutes in game to get there. And I'm a little bit worried because on the one hand, I was like, I hope this doesn't end the game. I'm just getting started. But on the other hand, I'm like, this game is probably smarter than this. And there's probably something that's going to happen that's just going to make the plot go just like more exciting. So really looking forward to getting back into the game and just unlocking more of what I can do, and also just things I can see. Like outside of just the overwhelming amount of options to build a base, there's not really anything. Oh, there's one other thing I hate or dislike: the stupid big fish by the starship. So the first time I was exploring, it was at night, and I was going around the starship kind of like trying to see if I can find some more blueprints or if there's a way inside the ship. And the whole chat is all like emote only and all like being scared and stuff. I'm like, what are you doing exploring this thing at night? And I was there for a good like 10-15 minutes and nothing would happen. I was like, why are you guys freaking out? What's out here? What's around here? Like at this point, there's nothing that's been overly that hostile. And the whole time, like the ground is shaking and like you can hear like, which is probably the ship settling into the sea. So I keep swimming and I get into this area where it's like really, really murky waters and there's like nothing there. And I'm just like, oh, I don't like this place. And then of course I see the shadow of like this big fish with tentacles. I'm like, no, I don't want to fight. I don't want to play. I don't want to be near that. So I try to like swim away. So I put my back to it, which is something you should probably never do to a monster. And I'm trying to swim away. And out of nowhere, there's like a quick cut where it's like, it grabs me and then it turns me so that my like first person view just sees its face. Like the light is shining on it. It's like, "Rrr," and then you subscribe. So outside of that, and yeah, just having too many options, those are the things I'm like, I don't like that so much. But the rest of the stuff is so great. It just keeps me wants me to keep. I am motivated to keep going. I also heard that there is a sequel to this called Subnautica 2, which I don't know if it's the same world, the same story, whatever, but I am excited that I have found a game that has multiple installations. I don't know if there's DLC, but I would be down for DLC as well. This is another one for 2022 to add to the backlog to play through, because I was having a really good time playing this. It's so relaxing, but also just so fun to just be like, what's next? What's next? What else can I build? And it's just such a sense of progression that it feels good. It's a very different sense of progression, unlike Dark Souls, which that progression is built on your skill, whereas this one, it's just the more you do, the more you get. It's a very different satisfaction. So hopefully I'll see you. I think this one is a game I might stream. I'm not sure where it's going to fit in the schedule because I haven't figured out my 2022 schedule. But I'll let you know when I do, and I'll see you on one of those streams maybe, or on another video. So until next time, keep it classy. Do 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 do. Subscribe.